So if you're writing your exam and you suddenly feel nervous, even doing this, which is socially acceptable because your pen is not working, you're shaking it. He gets conscious, he continues to do this, he starts fidgeting with his shirt or the collar. Motyaache tappore dane. Beautiful. The same thing in English is like komdiche pie. We deprived ourselves of the sunlight. And sunlight not only gives you strong bones, but also is a mood elevator. Just humming, whistling, or even tapping on the table works brilliantly. Do you feel that energy? You felt it. Felt something leave your body. That was negative energy. That was all of your cortisol. Gone, away, out. Another very helpful technique with this, especially for those young adults appearing for exams, is shaking. And it doesn't mean shaking, it means just shaking. So if you're writing your exam and you suddenly feel nervous, even doing this, which is socially acceptable because your pen is not working, you're shaking it. Even doing that releases that negative energy out of your body and sets it free. Helps very, very well with ability to think, ability to remember, and ability to reproduce during exam, retention and recall. And also helps for that 1 second saying, uh-oh, did I forget? Uh-oh, did I forget? Will help you with that. Just that. Simple enough. Another very helpful technique and tool which causes other people to think that you're nervous, even shaking the pen. Helps you think, doesn't it? It really, really helps you think quite a bit. It also helps you get to those points which are in your brain, they're hidden, you know the answers, you've read it, you've studied it, but at this time you're not able to think. That little bit of movement will set that circuit again for you to be able to remember better. Few things about anxiety is sitting at the edge of your seat tends to push the good chemicals, the happy hormones away from the body. Sit back a little. And then write. Helps quite a bit. Let me tell you, give you an example of how anxiety works. We were working with this one child and he, 2.5-year-old, was not talking at all. Sent by the school saying he's not interacting, not giving eye contact. We are fearing there's something seriously wrong with this child. Parents, highly educated parents, very cooperative parents, and he started working with this child. And he would only make noises like those are kind of noises he made, never spoke correctly. Started working with him 3 months, 4 months down the line, we realized, and we were speaking to him in English because he came from an English medium school, and that is generally how we tend to proceed with therapies, that he laughed and responded better when we were talking in Marathi. And one of the days we had some thing going on in the clinic. It was actually the Navratri colors that was going on, and we were all dressed and we were ready to take pictures, and he wanted to come in the picture and he kept coming, and we said, can you just wait? And that is when he said, Maza pan ahe. That's when we realized, oh, he knows how to talk. Until that point we were only like, only those noises he was making. And the speech therapist and me both took a look at each other saying, what is this, what is this, what is this? And then we had to convince the parents, as a trial, luckily the school also had a Marathi medium, and we shifted the child there as a trial for 15-20 days, saying take the pressure of English off the child and put him in Marathi. Unfortunately, the mother used to train other people to give IELTS and TOEFL exams. So to convince the mother who was teaching other people how to speak English to tell her to put your child in a non-English medium took us some time. We did it as a trial period, and the child started talking, and talking beautifully. By the time our 15-20 days were up, this child was reciting poetry. He was actually interacting with other children. This child has, I don't think the medical name is important, gets anxious when somebody talks to him in English. I don't know how that is, because mother was talking in English throughout the pregnancy, and don't know what happened over there. But the moment we shifted that pressure of talking in English to talking in Marathi, this child just switched. He is awesome now. He is in a Marathi medium school, shows us an IQ of about 145 to 150, and is the debate king of his 4th standard class. Even today, when somebody talks to him in English, he does this. He literally, physically takes a step back. It still makes him anxious. We haven't figured out why that is happening, but so far as he can stay in the current system, he understands English, he talks English, he recites English as well. But his medium to open a conversation is always going to be Marathi. The moment he starts in English, he gets conscious, he continues to do this, he starts fidgeting with his shirt or the collar, does one of the two things, can now have a conversation in English, but he is all knots. We are still going to figure out this because all education cannot be through Marathi medium. It will eventually have to take on English. And the kind of intelligence he has, I think he would do very, very well in certain subjects, but they are taught in English. So we are still figuring that out. He's only in 4th grade now. It's been a wonderful journey until this time. The amount of debates, the amount of poetry recitations, and we have a lot of those in the school. He is the one that always wins the first prize. The confidence of going onto the stage and talking. The other day, we had an Ashadi Ekadashi program in the school where he had to go up to the stage and sing the Povada. Oh, what wonderfulness. And his handwriting, it is like in Marathi that we call Motyatse Tappore Dane. Beautiful. The same thing in English is like Komdiche Pai. There are other things that we can do to help with the anxiety, with the cortisol production in the body. The first thing that comes to mind, which does not have to do with everything else that I have dealt with, is to get some sunlight. Sunlight helps release serotonin in your body and takes you away from the way this environment is. One of the things that we noticed during COVID when everybody was in lockdown, that a lot of our vitamin D3s have just dropped because we were inside for almost 2 years. Never stepped outside or always were wearing a mask or gloves or covering our bodies because corona, we didn't know how it was going to affect us. We deprived ourselves of the sunlight. And sunlight not only gives you strong bones, but also is a mood elevator. Makes you feel better about yourself, makes you feel better about the surroundings, makes you feel better about anything that you're going to tackle. Ask those people who do not get to see the sunlight for 6 months because of their geographical locations, and they have artificial sun in their premises where they can go and get that kind of energy that the sun generates. Another thing that is easy to do is to make music. One person's music is another person's noise, I agree. But just humming, whistling, or even tapping on the table works brilliantly to generate that kind of oxytocin because it is something you have created. Make something, anything, whether it's a painting, whether it's a music note, whether it's a craft activity, whether it's knitting, it's crochet, helps because you have created something. It helps keep your oxytocin levels up and your cortisol down. The third thing that works generally well is to make a list on a daily basis. Make a list and have an aim of completing at least 3 things out of that list. Yeah, it is very depressing to have 20 things on the list and do only 3, huh? No, have 5 things on the list and aim is to complete 3 out of the 5 every single day. Short goals generally tend to work much better. Long goals are also going to be there, but not when you're working with anxiety. If you write 20 things down, your anxiety level is there. You cannot bring it back down up at all. You'll have to do a lot of to bring it down to where it needs to be. So cross your feet, right foot over left foot, hands with thumbs down, right hand over left hand. Bring it to your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Undo your hands, undo your legs. Left foot over right foot, left hand over right hand. Bring it in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Undo your hands, undo your legs. Fingertips together. Bring it to the middle. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now watch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Do you feel that energy? You felt it. Felt something leave your body. That was negative energy. That was all of your cortisol. Gone. Away. Out. Ready to deal with the next one. Isn't this an awesome idea to do?